Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, Zepbound. If you're confused about which one is right for you, you're not alone. These names are everywhere, but here's what most people don't know. 2 of these are the same drug, just with different names, and the other 2, they actually work in a completely different way that might give you better results. I'm breaking down everything from Dr. Rocio Salas-Whalen's new book, Weightless. She's been prescribing these medications for over 15 years and is one of the earliest adopters of GLP-1 therapy in America. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which medication might be best for your situation. Let's get into it. First, let me clear up the biggest confusion. When you hear these 4 names, you're actually only talking about 2 different medications. Ozempic plus Wegovy equals Semaglutide. Mounjaro plus Zepbound equals Tirzepatide. Here's what Dr. N.E. Salas-Whalen explains in her book, Pharmaceutical companies give the same drug different brand names depending on what it's approved to treat. Ozempic contains semaglutide and is FDA-approved for type 2 diabetes. Wegovy also contains semaglutide, but it's FDA-approved for weight loss and obesity. Same drug, different purpose, different name. Same thing with the second pair. Mounjaro contains tirzepatide and is approved for type 2 diabetes. Zepbound also contains tirzepatide, but it's approved for weight loss. So really, this comparison comes down to semaglutide versus tirzepatide. Which one works better? Let's break down the science. Before we dive deeper, if you're finding this helpful, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps this video reach more people who need this information. And make sure you're subscribed because I'm breaking down Dr. Tom Salas-Whalen's entire book over the next 30 days. Now here's where it gets interesting. Both of these medications are called GLP-1 receptor agonists, but they don't work the same way. Semaglutide found in Ozempic and Wegovy mimics one hormone in your body called GLP-1. After you eat, your body naturally produces GLP-1, which does 3 important things. It slows down how fast your stomach empties. It tells your brain you're full. And it helps your pancreas release insulin when blood sugar is high. So when you take semaglutide, you feel less hungry, you stay full longer, and your blood sugar is more stable. Now stick with me here, because what I'm about to tell you about Tirzepatide is the reason why so many people are switching to it. Tirzepatide, found in Mounjaro and Zepbound, is different. This is the game changer. Tirzepatide is what Dr. Salas-Whalen calls a dual agonist. It mimics 2 hormones, GLP-1 and GIP. GIP stands for glucose-dependent insulinotropic polypeptide, and yes, that's a mouthful. What you need to know is that GIP works similarly to GLP-1, but hits different receptors. It enhances insulin secretion even more and may have additional effects on fat metabolism. Think of it like this: semaglutide is pushing one button to help you lose weight. Tirzepatide is pushing 2 buttons at the same time, and according to clinical studies, that dual action makes a real difference, which brings us to the results. And I'm going to show you the actual numbers that might surprise you. Stay with me. Okay, so which one actually produces better weight loss? The research is pretty clear. In clinical trials, people taking Wegovy, which is semaglutide, lost an average of 15% of their body weight over 68 weeks. People taking Zepbound, which is tirzepatide, lost an average of 21% of their body weight over 72 weeks. That's a significant difference. We're talking about 6% more weight loss with tirzepatide. Dr. Talking Salas-Whalen emphasizes in her book that these are averages. Some people respond better to semaglutide, others to tirzepatide. But overall, the dual action mechanism of tirzepatide tends to produce stronger results. One critical point Dr. Perskel Salas-Whalen makes: these results were achieved in combination with diet and exercise. These medications are tools, not magic pills. You still need to do the work. And speaking of doing the work, later in this video, I'm going to tell you about the one thing you absolutely must do on these medications to avoid losing muscle instead of fat. It's something most people ignore, and it can completely sabotage your results. For diabetes control, Ozempic at 2 mg lowered A1C by up to 2.1%. Mounjaro at 15 mg lowered A1C by up to 2.4%. Again, tirzepatide shows a slight edge, but both are highly effective. Let's talk about the not-so-fun part, side effects. Because both medications work in similar ways, they have similar side effects. The most common ones include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, and abdominal discomfort. These typically happen when you first start the medication or when you increase your dose. Dr. Rocio, Salas-Whalen has an entire section in her book on managing these side effects, and I'll be covering that in detail in an upcoming video. Quick reminder, if you want to see that video on managing side effects, make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on. I'm releasing these videos every week. One thing worth noting, because Tirzepatide activates 2 receptor pathways instead of 1, some people experience slightly more intense side effects, especially nausea. But this varies from person to person. Both medications carry warnings for potential thyroid tumors, including cancer in animal studies, pancreatitis, gallbladder issues, and kidney problems related to dehydration. This is why you must work with a qualified doctor. These are serious medications that require medical supervision. Now I know what you're thinking. These sound great, but how much do they actually cost? The answer might shock you, especially with the new changes coming in 2025. Let me break it down. Now let's talk about money, because this is where things get complicated and potentially better in 2025. Traditional list prices, without insurance, these medications have historically cost $1,000 to $1,350 per month. Yes, that's expensive. 2025 update. There was a major announcement in November 2025. Starting in 2026, through the TrumpRx platform, prices are expected to be around $350 per month initially, dropping to $250 per month over 2 years. Medicare enrollees may pay $245 per month with a $50 copay. If oral versions get approved, they could cost $149 to $150 per month. Current direct-to-consumer options. Novo Nordisk offers Wegovy and Ozempic with the first 2 months at $199, then $349 per month. Eli Lilly offers Zepbound at $299 to $499 per month, depending on dose. With insurance, if your insurance covers these medications, you'll typically pay much less, anywhere from $25 to $100 per month, depending on your plan. Here's the reality. Insurance coverage is hit or miss. Ozempic and Mounjaro are widely covered for diabetes. Wegovy and Zepbound for weight loss? That's where coverage gets spotty. Dr. Salas-Whalen recommends in her book that you check with your insurance first and explore all available discount programs. By the way, if you're getting value from this breakdown, do me a favor and share this video with someone who's considering GLP-1 medications. This information could save them thousands of dollars and help them make a better decision. So here's the million-dollar question. Which one should you choose? According to Dr. Salas-Whalen, the decision comes down to several factors. First, your primary goal. If you have type 2 diabetes, consider Ozempic or Mounjaro. If your focus is weight loss, consider Wegovy or Zepbound. Second, insurance coverage. This often makes the decision for you. Use whatever your insurance will cover. Third, expected results. If you want maximum weight loss and can tolerate potential side effects, Zepbound has the edge. If you want proven results with slightly less intensity, Wegovy is excellent. Fourth, administration. All 4 are once-weekly injections. There's now an oral Wegovy pill that just launched in January 2025, which might be appealing if you hate needles. But here's the thing that most people miss when choosing a medication. It's not just about which drug you pick. It's about who prescribes it. And in just a moment, I'm going to tell you exactly what to look for in a doctor. This could be the difference between success and failure. Fifth, your doctor's experience. This is crucial. Dr. Salas-Whalen emphasizes that finding an experienced provider who understands GLP-1 therapy makes all the difference in your success. A good doctor will start you at the right dose, titrate up at the proper pace, help you manage side effects, monitor your progress carefully, and adjust your treatment as needed. Don't just get these medications from any telehealth company. Find a qualified endocrinologist or obesity medicine specialist. I'm actually making a dedicated video on how to find the right GLP-1 doctor and the red flags to avoid. That's coming up next in this series, so stay subscribed. Before we wrap up, there are a few critical things Dr. Salas-Whalen wants everyone to understand. First, these are not quick fixes. You'll likely need to take these medications long-term. Most people who stop gain weight back. Second, protein is essential. On GLP-1 medications, you need to prioritize protein to prevent muscle loss. We're talking 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight, and this is that critical point I mentioned earlier. Listen carefully. Third, strength training is non-negotiable. Studies show that up to 40% of weight lost can come from muscle if you don't strength train. You must lift weights. Let me repeat that. 40% of your weight loss could be muscle, not fat, if you're not strength training. That means you could be getting weaker and losing your metabolism while the number on the scale goes down. This is why Dr. Treporman, Salas-Whalen dedicates an entire chapter to this in her book. Fourth, not everyone is a good candidate. These medications aren't for people who just want to lose 10 pounds. They're for people with obesity or overweight with weight-related health conditions. Fifth, side effects are manageable. With the right guidance and strategies, most people can tolerate these medications well. I'm covering the complete protein and strength training strategy in an upcoming